everybody, I'm going to start with gross motor today. Gross motor is linked to so many areas of development in a toddler. Take spatial concept, for example. Up, down, over, under, around, through. All of that is so important for handwriting skills because they're going to have to place their letters in a line one day and they needed to form their letters. So the best way for a toddler to learn spatial concept is by using their bodies. And I'm going to show you the easiest spatial concept learning tool that there is. A ladder. Hopefully most of you have got those at home. Here the little kiddies can climb up, over, down, around, through, all of those concepts. Of course, you've got to watch them all the time, but they're so excited to climb and overcome their fear of going over the top. If you've got a short one, they can use that to climb up to the top, help them to jump off. That's also achieving confidence by doing it. And then climbing under, through, around, and everything else. Of course, you can include number concepts by counting as they're going down, up, and counting backwards as well. You can lay it flat. They can climb, go on the sides and balance on that, or they can go on the rungs, or they can go in between the rungs, or they can even go bare walking like that without touching the rungs. Also, you can lay it flat on its side, and the kiddies can use their little bodies to weave in and out as well. Excellent for gross motor. Fine motor skills this week is, of course, using bilateral hands, two hands. It is using pincer grip, it is eye-hand coordination, it is crossing midline, and all of that is essential for skills that they're going to need for school one day. All I've got today is tape. This I've got a masking tape, or you can use a thick masking tape. You find your kids' favorite toys and you stick them down as much as possible. Don't be shy to use as much tape as you can. Stick them down so that the kids are going to have to work really, really hard to come and free their favorite toy. Put as much as you can, the thick one or the little one as well. You can also use sellotape. Here I've got a dinosaur with some sellotape that I can go and stick him down. You can stick it on a table, you can stick it on a board, on a tray, as long as they are stuck down and the kids have to use these muscles to get them out. I've got a little car. If you don't have any sellotape at home, labels, address labels, those good old-fashioned sticker labels, even that will work. Stick it down, cover the whole car with it. Duct tape will work. And if you've got none of that, even plasters will work. That's an essential item that you'll be able to buy in the shops right now. Here I've got a shape which I've stuck down, and you can use as many plasters as you want to go and stick it down so that they have to rescue all of the things that are stuck. Many of you have got pretty little sticky tapes, washi tapes at home, which I don't have. So I've just created my own tapes, taking pieces of masking tape and different colors or different designs on each of them. And then you're just going to create a shape for the kids. Any shape, it doesn't matter which shape, but the lines have got to be crossing, and you make them all stick over each other, and then ask the kids to pull it apart. So they will see if they pull at the bottom one, it's not going to work. It's great for thinking skills and reasoning and figuring out which one will need to be pulled off first. More with tape is, I've got a big thick tape here. You don't have to use a thick tape, and a toilet roll, and all I'm doing is I am sticking it around the toilet roll with the sticky side out. And then you ask them to decorate it. You can give them a whole lot of pom-poms, and they can decorate the little tree, make a pom-pom tree, or they can use buttons to stick it on, and if they want to adjust it, they can pull it off. It's just a lovely way to decorate and to keep using those fine motor skills. More activity with tape. This time I've got the packing tape, the thick one, and I'm just going to string it across a piece of board or chopping board or table or whatever you can. Let the sticky side come out and ask them to decorate that. Here I've got some pipe cleaners that they can use to make pretty little patterns, and then to pull it off if they want to. You can even put it on a horizontal surface like on a wall or on a basket like I'm doing now with the sticky side out again, and then you can encourage them to do patterns. I've just got some straws here. Patterns is also the beginning of maths concepts. So we do blue, green, blue, and what comes after blue? You can do 3 colors, you can do 2 colors. You can do their favorite little animals, blue, purple, blue, pink. What comes after pink can be purple. So just creating patterns for them is excellent for number concepts. Right, water play this week is with a straw and some water. I've mentioned before how good straws are for developing little speech, little muscles for speech development. What I'm going to do is just make a tiny little slit in the top of my straw, so that if perhaps they suck up, they're not going to suck up the water. It's just a safety precaution, especially if you've got soap or something in the water. You can add colouring or bubbles or whatever you want to. And then what I've got here is some things that float on the water. Some wool, pom-pom, a polystyrene block, a ping pong ball, and then it's just a matter of blowing on it to make it go across the river, making it float like that. That's great fun. Again, more with the straw blowing is just purely blowing. Make sure that you've got the little slit on the top and give them some water. You can give them a big bowl, a little bowl, a cup, and of course ask them to blow bubbles, which makes a great sound, and it's such fun. You can even add a drop of dishwashing liquid so that it really bubbles up. It's awesome to play with. You might need a bigger one because it makes a lot of bubbles. To follow up our art activity, this follows on from our theme with our little caterpillars in the Zoom class yesterday. We're going to make little caterpillars with our paint. You know, paint, 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of water, half a cup of salt. If you want to make it taste safe, you can leave the salt out. It just doesn't preserve it for as long. Or if it's babies, you can use a cereal as well, and then of course put the food colouring in. And then you're going to use all sorts of things to make little circles on your paper to make the caterpillar. I've got a balloon. A balloon is a really fun thing to play with, to paint with. So we're making little circles for our balloon, for our caterpillar. And I've shown you before, you can use toilet rolls and make little circles for that. You can use a bottle, you can use this side of the bottle, this side of the bottle. You can use a shot glass circle. You can use shapes, egg, anything that is a circle. And basically, you're making your little caterpillar, or they're making the caterpillars. You can count how many circles you're using, and a head. And when it's done, you can draw in the little legs, and the little antennas and the eyes, and you've got your little caterpillar. Play-Doh. I hope you made some Play-Doh for them yesterday. From the recipe that I gave you. This, to encourage them to play with the Play-Doh, you're just going to help them to roll it out, make it as flat as possible. If you don't have a roller, let them squeeze it down, and then today it's about imprinting. I've got a lion, and let's see what the lion's foot will look like. And you make an imprint of that, of his tail, of his nose. Oh, we've got a froggy. What's that froggy's foot going to be? And it's just imprinting it all on. It helps them to use their little hands. I've got a caterpillar. It's teaching them to push in, to pull out. Oh, and that makes a really nice shape. You can use a car. And then, of course, when there's no more space, you can start all over again. Little toys can have cute little imprints. And that's really all it is today. Find things around the house that you can imprint into the Play-Doh. I'm going to teach you how to use gloop. Gloop is just plain corn flour, maizena, corn flour and water. There's no strict measurement, or I can't give you a strict measurement on how to make it. Put some maizena in a tub and add little bit of water until you get the right consistency. It is hard to touch, but you've also got it becomes nice and smooth and runny. If they use their fingers, it's awesome. You can give them spoons, you can give them sticks, you can give them toothpicks, anything to play with, or their hands. You can put all sorts of toys in it and it becomes imaginative play. You can add coloring into it, which makes it look so pretty because it starts to spread into the maizena. The colors start to mix together and it is awesome. Awesome for coloring, for teaching colors as well. You can also add cocoa to your white gloop mixture and then it becomes mud, which they can play with animals, and it's imaginative play. You can then also add brown gloop in an ice tray and freeze it, and that can become bricks for them to build something with on a construction site the next day. Or you can add a whole lot of little insects or whatever you've got into a mold, pour the gloop mixture into it and freeze it overnight, and the next day they can dissect it and have fun with it.
Say enjoy!
Enjoy!